down the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk bloody to me.
Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talk Bloody to Me. I'm Matt,
And I'm Brezzy.
and today I'm really excited because we're talking about one of my favorite movies, horror movies, The Devil's Rejects. And we're talking about this because some of the cast are going to be at Crypticon this year, but this weekend they had a mini con that Breezy got to go to, and what was that like?
It was very like on an intimate level. I want to say like intimate, but
Right.
that's how I felt. That's how I felt. So I want to compare the two.
hmm
So like the mini con, that's how I call it, mini con,
hmm
versus the actual con. Well, the mini con, it's more on a calmer level. There's like a little bit less people,
hmm
and I felt like you're not rushed to meet these two celebrities, which is Felicia Rose and Dave. Sheeran was there, and Felicia was such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I haven't met Dave, but I have met Felicia. She was really, really nice. I can't get over how nice she is.
You got some really great pics with her, I saw online.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
There was some vendors there. I didn't really go see them. Had really good food there and awesome drinks. It wasn't crowded at all. There was quite a few people there, which I was kind of shocked because it was on Easter weekend.
Right.
And versus the con, if you feel a little bit more rushed, there's so much to do. And
hmm
it's like you have a long line or somewhat of a long line on these celebrity guests. Like you
Oh
kind of
yeah.
felt like rushed to ask these questions and stuff and not actually like talk to them.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, it was nice. And I did ask Chaz that I told him what how I felt about the minicon, and I said you should definitely do this more often because I
hmm
really like this.
Yeah.
And he said that he's going to try and do this every month, if not every other month, at the same
Awesome.
place.
Well, that would be really cool. Hopefully I get to go with to the next time.
Yeah, people were asking about you. Where were you at? I
Yeah.
told him.
Yeah. I wanted to meet Felicia Rose, but it's super exciting that you got to meet her. And you even got a picture of her doing the iconic face from Sleepaway Camp.
I knew she was going to do that, but I did the same thing, and I didn't
Uh-huh.
realize she was doing it too. So it's like,
It's a great picture.
yeah.
So yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, and I hope they do more of them, and I think that's a good way to get people kind of hyped up and keep them excited throughout the year, and it's kind of a nice alternative from yeah, the big con is great, but like you said, it can feel a little crowded or a little rushed, or especially sometimes these people they got huge lines, and then it's just
Oh,
like by the
mm-hmm.
time you get up to them, it's like, hi, well, okay, great, bye, see ya, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. But today, so speaking of cons, today we're talking about the Devil's Rejects and who from this is going to be at Crypticon this year.
We got Bill Mosley,
Oh
and
yeah.
then we got Michael Berryman and Ken for Fourier or Forche, whatever. Fourier.
Something like that.
And I told him, like, God, he looks familiar. I'm pretty sure he's been at Crypticon before.
hmm
I could have sworn
I
on it.
think he was. I think he was. I know William Forsythe plays Sheriff Wydell. He was at Crypticon 2 years ago, I think.
Yep.
And who else? Uh I think that's it. A couple of these people were at Twin Cities Con. Danny Trejo and Brian Posehn have been at Twin Cities Con over the
Yep.
years. Um, but Bill Mosley, Otis himself, is going to be at Crypticon this year, and I'm super excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, well, The Devil's Rejects came out in 2005, and it's a sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses. So, if you haven't seen House of a Thousand Corpses, you should go watch that first because it's awesome and it's
Yep.
amazing. And then come back and listen to this episode, um, and watch The Devil's Rejects too because it's also awesome. And this came out in 2005, written and directed by some guy named Rob Zombie. You may have heard of him. And
I have. I used to be a big fan until I went to his concert. So
Yeah, then you weren't a fan anymore after the concert?
no.
Really?
Yep. Nope.
Wow. I, I feel like there's a story there, but we got to talk about the movie first.
I would say he's a big dick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nah, I think I've heard that from other people too. Not exactly the most friendly person.
No.
Not no
Nope.
Felicia Rowe. I mean, I did meet him once. This was way back in the White Zombie days. Met him at a Sam Goody with White Zombie, and he signed autographs. And the other three members of the band were all smiley and talkative and friendly, and he just stood
Yep.
there and stared off into space and didn't say a single word. So
Yeah.
if that, but that was even back in the day when they weren't even that. I mean, they were big, but they weren't not at the level he is now. But anyway,
Yeah. Yep.
but he can still make a good movie.
Yeah. I would still listen to his music, but I would never go to his concert again.
All right, on.
Nope.
So, this movie stars Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, Rob Zombie's wife, Breezy's favorite person in the world, Rob Zombie. No, just kidding. Rob
Hmm.
Zombie's wife, Sherry Moon Zombie as Baby. Not the best actress in the whole world, I'm going to be honest with you, but she's hot and she's Rob Zombie's wife. So,
I think she's pretty good.
really,
Yeah.
I think she's cool. I don't know if she's a good actress, but
Well,
anyway.
only in his movies. I don't know.
Right. And then Bill Moseley, also who was Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, is the iconic Otis. And this movie picks up right where House of a Thousand Corpses, well, not right at where House of a Thousand Corpses left off, but the Firefly family have done a lot of murdering and killing, as seen in House of a Thousand Corpses. And so Sheriff Wydell, played by William Forsythe, is he's on a quest for vengeance, and he's going to be just as murderous and violent and crazy as the family is. I can't say that's a tongue twister. Firefly family.
That is a tongue twister.
So the movie starts out with the cops raiding the Firefly place, and Baby and Otis escape. You briefly see Tiny in the woods, which comes back. Spoiler alert later. And then they're gonna go meet up with Captain Spaulding. But the mother Firefly gets caught. It's sad. And here's my question: remember in House of a Thousand Corpses, there's that Grandpa guy,
Uh-huh.
Grandpa Hugh. Where the hell did he go? Did
I
they
have
just
no
say? Did they
clue.
just say screw him?
We would have to like review that one and like actually talk about that because now I gotta pay attention.
I think he's still alive at the end of a House of a Thousand Corpses, and then he's nowhere to be seen in this movie. I think why is because House of a Thousand Corpses is a little more crazier, and this one's a little bit more serious. It's kind of the
Yeah.
opposite of Texas Chainsaw Massacre in that the first one's more serious and the second one's a little zanier. This one is it's the opposite. The first one's because I believe House of a Thousand Corpses was originally meant to be like a theme park ride or something. That's how it started initially, and then
Hmm.
it turned into a movie from that. So this one's a little more serious. But my theory, this is my fan theory: Otis killed the grandpa in between movies, and no one cared because they didn't like him anyway. And that's
Yeah, I
based
can
on
see that.
absolutely nothing, just my
I
own
can see
opinion.
that.
You know. So, so the Fireflies are on the run. Mother's in custody. Sheriff is threatening her, trying to get information, and he ends up stabbing her and killing her. So you just know just how serious he is, and he means business. And then the what are some of your favorite parts of the movie?
I really don't have a favorite. I like the whole movie.
Hmm.
But however, I do like Captain Spaulding in this one versus like I like him in House of Thousand Corpses, but I do like him a little bit more in Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, he gets a little bit more involved in this one. In
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses, he's kind of there at the beginning and he kind of sets the stage and then he sort of shows up at the very end. So, but this one he gets a little bit more involved. But like, so they Baby calls him and they're gonna meet up at a hotel. So he's gotta get there. So he takes the woman's like basically carjacks the woman and he's got his Captain Spaulding clown makeup on and his vest and stuff. And then he gets in the car and there's a kid there. And he's like, "What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns?"
Yeah, that kid used to like clowns, not anymore.
Yeah. That's a great line. I love that. I love that moment.
Hmm.
So then they get to the hotel, and there's a traveling band, and with like Brian Posehn and some other people, and they basically just torture and murder and have all kinds of fun, quote unquote, with that family. Meanwhile, the sheriff is hunting for clues, and there's just a lot of violence and a lot of gore and a lot of craziness.
That's probably why I like it a little bit more.
Yep, exactly.
Like the killing scenes, like the blood, it doesn't look like fake blood. It looks like legit real blood.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks realistic, and that's part of what makes it so like I don't want to say shocking, but like it hits you harder that like when you see
Yep.
it some of the goofy movies we've been watching lately, like the
Yeah.
80s movies and stuff, like The Return of the Living Dead, not so realistic. Fun, but not
No.
so realistic. But this, yeah, this is a little bit more real. This and the thing about this is like there's nothing supernatural or they're not like possessed, they're not like demon. These are just people that are for whatever reason kind of psycho and enjoy killing. And so this if as you're watching it, it feels like this is something that could actually happen in real life, which also makes it
Oh,
like
yep.
creepy and almost a little more scary and a little more
It's like that
intense.
psycho family.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. But not the Psycho family in the RV from Low Lives. Not
Oh
to be
gosh, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
confused. Um, so they eventually the cops find out that they're in a hotel and they make their way to I don't remember the place, but it's Charlie Altamont's little hideout brothel thing, and that's Ken Foray, and him and Captain Spaulding go way back and they're buds. And I believe Ginger Lynn is one of the strippers in the
Yep.
scene. She was at Crypticon a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ginger Lynch, who was on top of Captain Sprogling.
Oh, sorry, I froze up for a second there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of did too.
Oh,
Sorry
yeah.
about that, people. But yeah,
Yeah.
she was there having sex on
Nice.
Ginger or Ginger on Otis. I'm like, oh my God. I know she used to do, that, but it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Big time adult movie star from the 80s.
mm,
Kurt even went and got like the VIP picture with her. Got like the special photo shoot.
ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but ultimately, they end up back at the Firefly house, and the sheriff's coming to get him, and he's gonna kill Baby. He's got her basically right where he wants her, and then boom, Tiny out of nowhere comes, kills the sheriff, saves the day. Yay! I totally forgot all
Mm.
about him. I was like, oh shit, I forgot all about it when he came up.
And this is your favorite movie.
I know, right? But there's lots of cool scenes, lots of cool moments like when they're at the hotel and baby Sherry Moon is sort of seducing the guy and what the hell she says something and then he's like do you what do you talk with that mouth or I don't even remember.
Yeah, she's like, "Do you talk?" He's like, "Do you talk with that mouth?" And she goes back like kind of like a smile, seductive like sayings, and all of a sudden, bam, in the hotel
Yeah.
or something like that. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. They take the one guy out into like basically the middle of nowhere and kill him, and then he like skins him, and he's wearing his face. Otis does that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good job, Otis. I like that.
yeah, and it's just lots of gore, lots of violence, lots of killing, and it's realistic, and it's kind of depraved and kind of demented, and that's why I love it. That's what makes it one of the best.
I got a
Um,
question for you then.
sure.
So, since you really love this movie and you have nothing to talk bad about, what is the thing in this whole movie that you do not like?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh crap! Put me on the spot.
Well, you put me on the spot.
um. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know if there is anything I don't like about this movie. I like everything about it. They even get uh what's his name? Uh, Michael Berryman as
Yep.
Cleavon in a cameo, and he says something about "Don't fuck those chickens" or something.
You don't like the do you like the music at all that's in there?
I don't really remember. The music doesn't. I guess it must be
Yeah.
Rob Zombie music, huh? It
I
doesn't.
don't there's barely any music there. That's all I was just asking.
Oh, right. I was just gonna say I don't even remember any music. Did I miss them? But I think that also makes it uh contributes to like the realism, makes it feel more like this
Mhm.
is something that's actually happening. The only thing I don't like is there's not enough Danny Trejo. There should have been more Danny
Yeah.
Trejo.
Yeah, he was in there at the very end. Yeah, I do agree with that one.
Yeah, if you're gonna hire the man, hire him for a few days, film him all the way through.
Or at least start like maybe like halfway in the movie and all the way on.
Yep, exactly. Um, so I don't know what else to say. I mean,
No, there's not much to say on this one either.
yeah. So definitely one of the best. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I would rate it a two. No, just kidding. I give it a 10,
I was
maybe
gonna say
11.
that's your favorite movie. You better not rate it too.
Yep. What do you rate it?
I will rate this one like a 9 out of 10.
Nice. What do you not like about it?
Um,
What would it need to make it a 10?
I want to say a little bit more like the killing scenes, considering it's Rob Zombie, a little bit more blood. But however, all of his Rob Zombie's movies, there is blood, but not enough blood.
Right. Right.
That's how his movies is.
Yep.
But yeah, more blood the better for me.
And it needed Clint Howard, but he comes back, I think, in the third one. Three from Hell. They do
Yep,
make there is a third one, Three from Hell, also amazing. Unfortunately, Sid Haig passed away and is only in a small part at the beginning, but they
yep,
handled his character with respect and I like how they did it. And what's his name that replaces him is cool too. So,
yep.
all right, The Devil's Rejects is not a reject, but Breezy has rejected
Don't
Rob
get
Zombie.
rejected.
Yeah. All right, thanks for listening. If you have any fan requests, let us know. If
Hmm.
you know what happened to Grandpa Hugo, comment.
Yeah, because
Let
I'd
us
love to know
know.
about that one.
Right? Maybe I'm sure there's probably some deep dive where there's some elaborate like storyline that like, oh, this happened and then this happened. Speaking of that, even bigger question, what happened to Dr. Satan? Is he still down in that pit? Just the cops didn't even notice about him and he's just down there working away,
Probably. I could see
right?
that happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you know what happened to Dr. Satan or Grandpa Hugo, comment and let us know if you have any fan requests. Let us know if there's anything you want to see or hear. And we appreciate all the support.
Hmm.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.